Hail, bird of prey. 5. Hail, Karuga.
Kapla!
Kapla.
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm needing new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Avery Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird O' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird O' Prey 5, Kapla, and welcome to Bed Life for Friday, October 5th, 6th, October 6th, 2023. I can't believe it's already the second Bed Life of October. And yes, you are seeing me on camera for the first time in a long time. That was because we got the request last week, actually earlier this week, on Monday. I believe it was Famous Bearer. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe he requested I come on camera, but I was not dressed appropriately on Monday to turn the camera on, so I said I would try to remember, and I did. So today, Friday, here I am. Not going to have the camera on for long, but it is on for now. I am still here. Reports of my demise, and Mamo Prey had set up some sort of weekend at Bernie's thing going on. Not true. I am what? I assure you, I am actually here and moving my hand and my arms. There are no ropes attached. Mamo Prey doesn't have some type of overgrown doll setup going on. And it is indeed me. So you can see that and confirm it. 47 Yorktown, first in the chat, says one Vok. Not Ryan Johnson says hello in Kapla. Hail Karoga. John DeMagos says greetings all, and a happy 75th to Avery Brooks. So here's the thing. Avery Brooks's 75th birthday was actually October 2nd of this year, and his birthday is October 2nd. And I would have made the October 2nd stream about Avery Brooks, except for the fact that Avery Brooks shares his birthday with that of my boss, my late boss, billionaire, philanthropist, Sidney E. Frank. And I'm sorry to Mr. Brooks, but Mr. Frank had the day first. Mr. Frank would have been 104 years old. And anytime I think of October 2nd, I'm going to think of it as Mr. Frank's birthday first. Although now that I know it's Avery Brooks's birthday as well, I'll always remember that he will also get a special shout out on October 2nd. But this past October 2nd came and went, and I did not acknowledge Avery Brooks's birthday. My apologies to Mr. Brooks. I did not know, but now I do, and now I will not forget. So nevertheless, a belated happy birthday to the live, living, very much alive and still great Avery Brooks. And we hope to see you return to Star Trek one day, sir, in a good way. Not so much as in this very past week of Lower Decks. That was a kind of the very first, I would say, Deep Space Nine sequel episode, as it gave us, it dropped in on Rom and Lita as Grand Nagus and whatever Grand Nagus's assistant, head of the Ferengi Alliance. And yeah, I've got some things to say about the Lower Decks episode. That was this week's episode. And the title of it, I don't remember the title, but we'll get to that too. Dan Ben gives a thumbs up. Welcome, Dan Ben. Captain Fandom Nerd says, hello, Captain. And of course he says, hail on Kuroga. Mr. Lundell's Groovy Movies says, batleth to the face. Kapla, Mr. Lundell. Richie Poole puts in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 alpacas. And he says 7X. 7 alpacas. Thank you, Richie Poole. Last Son of Gay says Kapla Bird and the Oprays. TBIF. Hail to the chat. Kapla, Last Son of Gay. And he says, many October babies. My mom would have been 74 yesterday. Seems like a lot of post-holiday season and deep cold winter cuddle action was going on. There is indeed a lot of October babies, a lot of November babies. I myself, as a November baby, 9 months prior to my birthday was Valentine's Day. Last Son of Gay says, hail to 47 Yorktown, not Ryan Johnson, and John DeMarco, Dan Ben, Mr. Lundell, Captain Fandom Nerd, and Richie Poole. LDG says, good evening to everyone. Good evening, LDG. And a big thank you again, LDG, for those 10 memberships that was purchased on the previous Bet Life. We are currently at 73, an insane number for a channel this size. 73 subscribers for the channel. It is wonderful. It's incredible. And we are two subscribers away from being able to get another custom emoji. I have no idea what it would even be at this point, but 2 more subscribers, we can get yet another custom emoji. So people, like the last one, I put in the alpaca. That was really just a placeholder in case we needed it for something else. But if you guys could think of another item for another custom emoji, put it in the chat. I'll keep it in the back of my mind in case we do hit 75 subscribers at some point. The lovely Sherry is in the house. Applause to the lovely Sherry. Dan Ben is waving the last son of K and saying good evening to LDG. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says Kapla. Kapla Gorilla. Schwario says, I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it, says Schwario. And Words and Pictures. Words and Pictures gifted 5 more memberships. LQ3, Pat S., Chris Longfellow, Colonel McHugh, and Ibum Kun. Ibum Kun was each gifted a membership by Words and Pictures. So thank you so much. And that would now put us well above the threshold. There's that famous word, threshold. We are now above the threshold. So guys, what should be the next custom emoji for the channel? I will set it up after this stream. I will make sure we get it, so we have it. So even if later, if we lose memberships and it goes below 75, we still get to keep the custom emoji. I just have to set it up before we lose it. So you let me know. Give me some ideas, and I will try to figure one out. It can't be technically, it can't be something that's trademarked by, like, I can't technically use like a Starfleet Delta or something. I can't technically do that, but if I made my own Starship Delta, I could, we could figure something out. Better it's something, that's more of a joke, like a banana or a pickle, something. We figure something out. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47 Yorktown. Schwario says, from now on, it's going to be under one roof. Indeed. And he says, we, the people. Dan Ben says, shouldn't Lieutenant Uhura be receiving the distress calls? She should have, but I don't know. I guess she was busy. Dan Ben says, do as William Shatner demands. That is good advice. Hakeem says, Kapla Bird in chat. It's great to see you on camera. Thank you, Hakeem. Miss Linda's Groovy Movie says, keep the beard, looking like a master warrior. Well, this is about as thick as I can make the beard. If I make the beard any thicker, it interferes with my ventilator / CPAP machine at night, and I can't breathe. This is the biggest beard I can live with, literally. Schwario says, Bird Prey 5, Kapla Bird, hope you and the other Opreys are doing well today. Remember, my birthday is next Saturday, the 14th. I will be turning 44. Congratulations, Schwario. Let me tell you, as somebody who's currently 44, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Words and pictures says Kapla Bird. Good to be here. Good to see you. Birdo Prey 5 is not an NPC. His real name is Uman, and you are a good-looking, and you are looking good, Brother Bird. Oh, thank you, Words and Pictures. I appreciate that. Dan Van says, I don't really know what Weekend at Bernie's is. You look taller. Dan Van, Weekend at Bernie's was a movie from, I guess, the late 80s or early 90s about a guy who died at his beach house, and his friends, not wanting to ruin their vacation or something to that effect, decided to rather than phone in that their dear friend had died, they decided that he would have preferred that they all get to keep their vacation, and so they just pretended the corpse was still alive by like tying a rope to his hands and his legs and his head. So like they would walk down the beach and his corpse would walk with them. So people would look and say, oh, Bernie's still alive. There's Bernie. Even though Bernie didn't talk, he would wave and stuff because they would put these ropes that nobody else could see. And nobody else noticed that everybody, he was waving his hand, but it was his friend was pulling his hand one way and another friend was pulling his hand back the other way. And he looked ridiculous. He looked like that Vorta from the Deep Space Nine episode, The Magnificent Ferengi, where the Vorta had died, but they set him up to walk with those wireless transmission things that Nog put on his body to make him remote controlled. Yeah, Bernie looked a lot like that, but instead of being remote controlled, it was ropes and magnets and shit. Yeah, it was a crazy movie. And then they did Weekend. It was called Weekend at Bernie's, and then they did Weekend at Bernie's 2. Like Bernie was still dead. He was still dead, and God only knows why. I don't even remember why he hadn't started to rot yet, but that was it. And Yvette, the wonderful, the beautiful Yvette, with a £2 sterling super chat, says the big red button can't stay working. What happened? Why didn't it show up? Here we go. We fixed it.
Scanning.
And
Indication
Yvette
negative
with
at
a
this time.
£2 sterling super chat now got eyebrow dash. Thank you, Yvette. The lovely Yvette. The lovely Yvette. The big red button can't stay working. You know what, Yvette? We're going to try it again.
It's a fake.
And there it is. It's a fake. That's one more time. One more time. Give it a third chance. Come on. Give us some kissing. Right. There it is. There it is. Kissing Dax. Kissing Dax from the lovely Yvette. It is deeply appreciated. Yeah, I got to tell you, now that I'm saying it, now that I'm speaking about it, Weekend at Bernie's, yeah, it is a really, really weird movie. It probably not one you should rewatch. I don't know. Gorilla, Dan Ben also says, I look taller. I don't know about that, Dan Ben, but thank you. Gorilla says, liar bird, I see the glint of monofilament light. Dan Ben says, good. Dan Ben says, yeah, I follow some social media accounts which post about Star Trek actors' birthdays. Taylor Swift, greater than Disney Star Wars, is in the house and has sent some sassy and mamo pray emojis. Thank you, Taylor Swift, greater than Disney Star Wars. Schwarios is Bird of Prey 5. Your background, keying. Is keying, perhaps? I'm sure it is. It's not a great background. Gorilla says second DS9 episode on Lower Decks. There was an episode where they actually went to Deep Space Nine. It was actually 2 episodes where they went to Deep Space Nine. One episode, they had Kira on it. But to be honest, this most recent episode, I'd say was really the first DS9 sequel, because it was the first episode that really gave us any type of info on where the Deep Space Nine story has gone. Their prior visits to Deep Space Nine didn't really further anybody's story. This they did further Rom and Lita's story, and also the Ferengi, what happened to the Ferengi when Rom became Grand Nagus. And to be honest, I didn't like it. I did not like any of it. In my head canon, why should my head canon have any role over what they do? I don't know. But I'll tell you, my head canon was that Rom and Lita, or Rom, got to be Grand Nagus for like 24 hours. And maybe 24 to 48 hours after becoming Grand Nagus, he got thrown out of Ferenginar, and he got, he got thrown out, and he had to set up a government in exile, and he ended up back on Deep Space Nine, going back to his old life, the true ruler of Ferenginar, but in exile, and that old school Ferengi who didn't want to modernize took over and basically shut down all the modern advancements, progressive advancements that Rom and Lita were trying to start. That's just my headcanon. I think it's a better place for the Star Trek universe to be, but that's just me. So I really don't like where they went. LDG says it was on Enterprise. I'm not 100% sure. And then we got Words and Pictures, gifted memberships. Big thank you. Gorilla's Random Thoughts is, I would say, a gorilla custom emoji, but I'm a biased vote. Miss Lundell says, how about a mechlef? That's not a bad idea. LDG says, how about a UPS icon? I don't know about that. Every fucking time. I don't know about a UPS icon. Captain Phantom Nerd says the Defiant. 47 Yorktown says Crystal Skull. Miss Lundell says 4 pips. Gorilla says make it a middle finger and a Starfleet Delta. Make it green. Kronos says, Kapla bird. And to the chat, oh, pray. Kapla, Kronos. And Kronos says, you can't be a warrior until you braid your beard. Well, then I'm not going to be a warrior. And Kronos says, damn kids. Kitty Bear says, Kapla bird. Are you saying you are younger than me? Well, I will be 45 on November 13th, Kitty Bear. So make of that what you will. Dan Ben says The Simpsons episode with the similar title. Chrono says a corpse is a corpse. A corpse is a corpse, of course. But nobody can talk to a corpse, of course. Unless, of course, the corpse is the famous Mr. Kronos. Dan Ben says, yeah, that Deep Space Nine episode, I think Iggy Pop was in it. No, he's not the one that got. LDG, hashtag free the net, says voodoo. Richie Pools is my first time using 1.5x speed to catch up. Bird sounds funny. Welcome, Richie. And I hope the audio is better. I know a lot of people were complaining about the audio levels in the Monday live stream. And I'm so sorry. I had no idea how low I sounded until I went back and I rewatched it. And the opening credits were plenty loud. But the stream later on, once I was talking, was not loud at all. So I do hope, I'm assuming today the audio is a lot better. I checked it right before I streamed, and it had again fallen to the low level. Something in my software is turning on and reducing the audio level from max. So once again, before the stream, I had to go back and maximize it. So hopefully you guys are hearing me at full blast. Chrono says, is Bird ignoring the chat? Oh, pray. No, never. Never, ever. Richie Pool says, hashtag ban Kronos. Kronos says, Pool. Miss Londell says, she's the lovely and talented Yvette. Obviously, the lovely and much talented Yvette. Dax eyebrows, says Kronos. Kronos says, quantum Yvette. And LDG at Free the Net with a $5 super chat says, you have icons for all the different parts of the show life, but not for your rants. We need a bird rant emoji. A bird rant emoji. Okay, LDG, that's a good idea. What would be a good bird rant emoji? Maybe the UPS. The UPS icon might be it. Kronos is lolling. Words and pictures is laughing. It's a fake. It's a fake. Kronos says they are faking it. LDG says the first one was classic. Kronos says weekend at Birdie's. Kronos says, how many relationships did Swift have? I have no idea. Kronos says, Bird of Prey 5. Do you have a Moopsie as a pet? No, Kronos. Only Sassy. And LDG also got Kissing Dak. All right. LDG's $5 super chat came in with a nice old Kissing Dak. Kronos says, what did Lita see in Rom? I don't know, Kronos. We can only speculate. Chrono says, how far is Bird of Prey 5 behind in the chat? Not terribly far. And Carlo Albanese says, Brunt will never be Grand Negus. He was acting Grand Negus. 54.5 Axis Radio says, breaking news, Bird of Prey 5 has a cannon in his head. Carlo Albanese says, hail Karoga. Hail Karoga. Chrono says, Brunt is working for the IRS now. That is disturbing. Chrono says, hey, 54. Hey to Carlo. Carlo Albanese says, hi. Hope everyone is as well as can be. And Chrono says, hey to Pickles. 54.5 Axis Radio says hello to Chronos, who says, Carlo Albanese, as well as can be at the moment. Carlo Albanese asks Chronos if he missed anything. And Carlo puts in a big hug. Thank you, Carlo. Chronos says, Carlo, more than likely. Hakeem says, hey to Chronos. Chronos says, Chronos, with a Bird of Prey 5 to follow, we'll all be fine in the end. And Chronos says, Bird of Prey 5, does Mom Prey have a tail o' prey? It's a little early, Chronos. Kitty Bear says 47 on December 23rd. Then yes, Kitty Bear, I am a bit younger than you. You're going to be 47 on December 23rd. Then you're 46 now. So you're 2 years older than me. Bruno says, Carlo Albanese, Taco Bell is never a good ending. And Carlo Albanese says, we the people ask politely for Mamo Prey. Chronos says, hey to Hakeem, and hey Kitty Bear, and hey to Pickle LDG again. Carlo Albanese says, Taco Bell is the future. Demolition Man said so. Yeah, but outside North America, they replaced Taco Bell with Pizza Hut because nobody in Europe knew what the hell Taco Bell was because there were 0 Taco Bells in Europe, but they knew what Pizza Hut was. So they literally, if you're watching a European-based Demolition Man, every instance of Taco Bell was replaced with Pizza Hut. Gorilla says, I did not know software could get turned on. Everything can get turned on. Carlo Albanese says, a rant alert would be fun. A rant alert emoji. Chrono says, Demolition Man is quite scary and very prophetic. Prophetic. I know what you're trying to say. I think I'm mispronouncing it. It's very scary, and it also warns of the future. Chronos says, hey to Gorilla. Carlo Albanese says, it was at this moment Bird of Prey 5 realized he's a half hour behind. Chronos is a very passionate and a waste. Boo. Chronos checks his wristwatch that doesn't exist. And he says, look at the time. Jedi Bill says, Kapla, brother warrior. Bird of Prey 5, and all should hail Karoga, and all should hail the Jedi Bill and Kapla, Jedi Bill. And I didn't tell anybody, Bill. I did not tell anybody, but I will now. Earlier this morning, I was on LDG. We were in the backstage area, and Bill came on, and he had some computer questions. And at some point, he got busy. I got busy. LDG got busy. And when I got back, Uh, apparently, Bill had to walk away for some reason, and Bill had come back, and his camera fell on the floor. I didn't notice, and then all I could see was the camera on the floor, and I started yelling, "Bill, Bill, if you need help, move the camera." And the camera started moving, but I never asked Bill, if you if you don't hear me, don't do anything, or something like that. Anyway, every time I said something, the camera moved. I thought Bill was in distress, and I convinced LDG that we had to call somebody to help Bill. Luckily, I jumped the gun. It turned out Bill was absolutely fine. We didn't know that at the time, but apologies to Bill and anyone else that LDG woke up on my behalf. I was worried. I was worried for Bill. I thought he was sick. I thought he needed our help. But as it turns out, knocking wood, he is mostly okay, but he certainly did not need our help. So, had I had his actual address and phone number in my phone, I would have called 911 myself. Luckily, he didn't need it that much. We got to go back up. Chronos says, "Hey to Sith Bill." Chronos is only 46. Jedi Bill says, "Hey to Chronos." Chronos says, "Is LDG's shelf stable or just a refrigerator pickle?" You'd have to ask him. Jedi Bill says, "Hello to Carlo. Good to see another brother warrior." Chronos says, to be fair, we are all quite unstable. Carlo Albanese says, "I thought I was going to be mad when it would be Pizza Hut one time and then Taco Bell the other." Carlo Albanese says, "Hey to Jedi Bill." Captain Fandom Nerd says, "Bird of Prey 5, a red button emoji for Yvette." Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, "Hey to Chronos." Chronos says, "Hey to the fandom." Jedi Bill says, "Hail to LDG and free the net." Carlos says, "Hey to Captain Fandom Nerd." Carlos says, "Who is Tattletale?" Nobody that I'm aware of. Captain Fandom Nerd says, "Hi to Carlo." Schwario says, "Bird 45 Bird, you are disappearing into the background on your screen." Yeah, I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have worn the black shirt. That was my bad. Chronos says, "Hey to Schwario." Chronos says, "Someone force moved a camera." No, you don't need to rest in peace, Bill. Schwario says, "Hello to Chronos." Chronos says, "Bird is only mostly okay." That's a lot better than most of the time. Carlos says, "Hey, LDG, last dude gaming." Words and Pictures is good for you, showing your concern and care. Glad there wasn't a problem for Bill. Kitty Bear says, "Lol, that reminds me of the time I called the cops on a friend in Denmark because he fell asleep drunk while on a voice chat. All I heard was a glass breaking, and he didn't respond." Chronos says, "Hey to Words." Jedi Bill says, "Hey, Bird." Nina says that thank you, and you too to LDG. Well, our hearts were in the right place, Bill. I'm sorry. I do apologize if Nina got woken up early. Captain Phantom Nerd says, "Hey to Chronos." Words and Pictures is Captain Chronos vampire hunter. Jedi Bill says hello to Words and Pictures. Chrono says Words and Pictures. I missed that movie. And Words and Pictures is smiling at Brother Bill. Brother Bill. Bill. Okay. Carlos says, well, you're not the AI bird composite, or don't panic. I'll find that somewhere. And Jedi Bill says hello to Captain Fandom Nerd. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the we'll go to Avery Brooks's Wikipedia for today. Oh, for his Wikipedia, we see that he was indeed born October 2nd, 1948. He is 75 years old as of October 2nd. Now, that was Monday, and October 2nd, I will always think of as my boss's birthday first, but maybe next year I will try to remember October 2nd is also Avery Brooks's birthday, and we should remember him. Luckily, he is still alive. Hopefully, we will see him somehow, some way by next year. Avery Franklin Brooks, born October 2nd, 1948, is an American actor, director, singer, narrator, and educator. He is best known for his television roles as Captain Benjamin Sisko on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, as Hawk on Spencer for Hire, and a spin-off, A Man Called Hawk, as Dr. Bob Sweeney in the Academy Award-nominated film American History X. Avery Brooks has delivered a variety of other performances to a great deal of acclaim. He has also been nominated for a Saturn Award and for 3 NAACP Image Awards. Brooks has also been inducted into the College of Fellows of the American Theater and bestowed with the William Shakespeare Award for Classical Theater by the Shakespeare Theater Academy. Avery Brooks was born into Evansville, Indiana, the son of Eva Lydia, a choral conductor and musical instructor, and Samuel Brooks, a union official. He was a union man and a tool and die worker. His maternal grandfather, Samuel Travis Crawford, was also a singer who graduated from Talugo College in 1901. When Avery was 8 years old, his family moved to Gary, Indiana, after his father had been laid off from International Harvester. Brooks has said, "I was born in Evansville, but it was Gary, Indiana that made me." The Brooks household was filled with music. His mother was among the first African American women to earn a master's degree in music at Northwestern University. Taught music wherever his family lived. His father was a member of the Wings Over Jordan Choir, a a cappella spiritual choir best known for performing on CBS Radio from 1937 through 1947. His maternal uncle, Samuel Travis Crawford, no relation to Michael Crawford, was a member of the Delta Rhythm Boys. Music is all around me and in me, and I am in it, Brooks has said. Brooks attended Indiana University and Oberlin College. He completed his Bachelor of Arts plus a Master of Fine Arts from Rutgers University in 1976, becoming the first African American to receive an MFA in acting and directing from Rutgers. Very, very privileged life he has led. To be honest, the first time I'm reading this, I had no idea. His television career, Spencer for Hire Hawk, Star Trek, Benjamin Sisko, and other roles. Other work, teaching and cultural, music, theater, films, documentary. Those all sound a lot like the same thing. Later projects, personal life. Since 1976, Brooks has been married to Vicki Lenora Brooks, an assistant dean at Rutgers University. Together, they have 3 adult children, Anya, Cabral, and Asante, and live in Princeton, New Jersey. After police received a report of erratic driving around 10 p.m. on January 29, 2012, Brooks was arrested under charges of driving under the influence in Wilton, Connecticut, being released on a court date of February 9th that year. They arrested the Sisko in 2012. I was half out of it in 2012. Oh my God. If I was on that jury, he would have been found not guilty under reason of being the Sisko. It could be no one else. I had no idea he ended up arrested. So he's got film credits to 2011, where he was the captain's. He was himself in the captain's Star Trek documentary, television, 1997, Happily Ever After, Fairy Tales for Every Child. He was in the Golden Goose episode. And video games, Star Trek Legacy, 2006. So look, there's already a Star Trek Legacy where he played Captain Benjamin Sisko. Schwario says, I was going into the background, disappearing into the background of my screen. Bruno says, someone force moved the camera. No. Yes, Bill is fine. Bill is okay. Bill is good. Carlo Albanese says, hey, LEG, Last Dude Gaming. I read that. Yeah, we read that. Carlo Albanese says, wait, you're not the AI Bird of Prey 5 composite. Don't panic. I'll find it somewhere. Jedi Bill says, hello to Captain Fandom Nerd. Captain Phantom Nerd says hello back. Words and Pictures says, regarding the rant emoji, you can get an angry bird, non-copyright image, maybe overlay Bird o' Prey. Just an idea. Chrono says Cisco, greater than Janeway. Indeed. Dan Ben says never seen Spencer for Hire Hawk. Chrono says hey to Dan. Says hello back. And Chrono says wasn't Avery in a movie where he was a bad guy and was about a police station? No, I think you're thinking of American History X. He was a good guy. And a lot of it took place in a police station and a prison. Chrono says in winter. Okay, maybe it's a different movie. Dan Ben says, wasn't the actress who played Kess in Voyager once arrested for being naked in a park? I do believe she was arrested. I don't know if it was for being naked. I thought it was for drug charges. But, it might have been. Dan Ben says, yeah, I played Star Trek Legacy game on Xbox 360. It's not the best storyline and difficult at times. And Chrono says he was in Gargoyles. Apparently he was. In 1996, he was Nokar in the episode Sentinel. Dan Ben says, I think a few Star Trek people were in Gargoyles cartoon. Chrono says, Certus, Frakes, Data. That would be Brent Spiner. And Chrono says, and Dorn, Michael Dorn, who is, of course, Worf. Gorilla's Random Thought says, Bird Rant could just be Bird giving the middle finger. Words and Pictures says, Captain Cisco arrested for DUI. Is that why he was posted on a space station rather than a spaceship? Maybe. And Kronos is saying middle finger, oh pray. I will figure out some type of rant emoji. We will do a rant emoji of some type. No worries. No worries. Okay. Instead of commercial, I got a little different. I gotta take a minute, but I'm gonna play the shorts tracks, some shorts tracks to pass the time, and then I'll be back and we'll do Wordle and some other stuff. I'll be right back. Like 2 minutes, maybe. So, Spock, what's on the agenda for today? Captain, as you are well aware, I am your first officer, not your secretary. It's going to be one of those days again, eh? Those days. Yes, Spock, it's an Earth expression. Captain, we're being hailed on screen. Oh my God, man, what a hideous-looking alien. Sir, the frequency is open. Yes, sadly it's true. Salty knows I am an ugly alien. What can we do for you? I want to invite you and your salty crew to a party here on M114. I like the sound of that. Maybe this day won't be so bad. Send the coordinates and we'll set course, if I may. Damn it, Spock, this is why we don't get invited to the good parties. Captain, this creature is clearly a salt vampire, similar to the one we killed on M113. What? My wife was on M113. Calm down, please. My science officer was mistaken. Well, why would he say that? Because he's an idiot. Do you know anyone on M109? No? Well, there you see. We were at M109. Mr. Spock confused it with M113. Well, he's not invited to my party. But you, Captain, and the rest of your crew, please beam down as soon as you arrive. What can we bring? Maybe if your kitchen can spare a few extra salt packets. How many do you need? How many do you got? I'll order 24 salt packets. Order 24, are you sure, Captain? Absolutely. Order 24 now. Aye, sir. Oh, God, the pain. Spock, what did you do? I thought you ordered an order 24, sir. This is what I mean by one of those days. Dun 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 dun. Captain's log, stardate unknown. It's been 3 months since my return from the Mirror universe. Like the Mirror universe, where I was forced to dispense pain with antagonizers and agony booths, the Mirror universe is the same but opposite. I am forced to dispense pleasure with orgasmatizers and the ever-popular ecstasy booth. Upon my return, I provided Chief Engineer Scott and Dr. McCoy with detailed blueprints recreating this fantastic technology, yet neither has been able to reproduce it at all. Therefore, effective noon tomorrow, I will self-destruct the Enterprise unless they meet my demands. What was that, Captain? Do your job, Mr. Chekhov. Dun 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 dun. Chief Medical Officer's log. The captain has been pestering me for this ecstasy booth for weeks now. I tried to tell him his mirror universe was just a fever dream. There wasn't even an ion storm or transporter involved. But he did assign me several young female crew members and a couple wet behind the ears engineers jumping at the chance to make a name for themselves, even if it's just in the medical journals. I hope the captain is happy with our new toy. Happy with what, Doc? Jim, there you are. Just in time to see my latest invention. Nurse Chapel, please get on the table. What? Come now, nurse. We're all professionals. Hey, let's get Spock and Scotty in here. Good idea, Bones. Should I get Sulu, too? No, I don't think this is up his alley. We're all here, Doc. Let's see it. We've had tricorders and medical tricorders, but now I present the first vaginal tricorder. Vaginal? Bones, what the hell is this thing? Well, you stick this up there, and in 45 short minutes, you know everything about a woman's vagina you ever wanted to know. Watch me demonstrate on Nurse Chapel. Oh, God, no! The number of sexual partners, days since her last period, how many times she's read Shades of Grey. It's all there. Fascinating. Good job, Doc. You've earned your pay for the week. Dun, dun, dun. Captain's log, supplemental. We have just arrived at Rigel 9, where I discovered the coordinates for a 2,000-year-old lamp containing a magical genie. This intel was thanks to 6 months of undercover work by Mr. Sulu, posing as an Orion love slave. I have put a commendation on his record, though Dr. McCoy says he's still catatonic, but I will simply wish him back to normal, so I still get 2 wishes to myself. Scott here, in orbit over the target now, Captain. Great, beam me down, Mr. Scott. The lamp, there it is. Show yourself, genie. Poof. Oh, I'm the reverse genie of the lamp. You owe me 3 wishes. I owe you. What the heck kind of genie are you? I'm a reverse genie, bitch. You owe me 3 wishes. And after 2,000 years alone in that bottle, I'm about to collect all 3 in your ass. Scotty, beam me up. Can't get a lock, Captain. You can't get away from me, motherfucker. Captain, the only way to beam you up is if we beam down someone else to open a hole in the shields. Do you like syrup or honey? Damn it, man. Beam Sulu down now. Jim, what are you doing with my patient? Scotty, beam Sulu down and me up immediately. That is an order, mister. Fee, fa, fo, fum. This genie is about to... Thank goodness I'm back. What about Sulu? Oh, he'll be okay. Give him 20 minutes, beam him back to sickbay. Then set course for Starbase 2. Starbase 2? But we just came from Starbase 2. I know. I'm a reverse captain now. Dun, dun, dun. I hope you guys preferred that. Every once in a while, we'll do that instead of the commercials. But I still have both. So, yes, the holidays, the national holiday. It is October 5th. It is 6th, excuse me. October 6th. And it is National Noodle Day. National Noodle Day. It is also World Smile Day. Inbox Zero Day. Learn how to manage your emails and effectively keep a zero inbox. I am always back and forth. Most of the time, my inboxes are empty. But every once in a while, I do let them build up and build up. I currently have 0 emails in my AOL mailbox, but 8 emails in my Gmail box. Not too bad, huh? Most of them I just read and then I let them go into the old mail. The point is, they're ones I keep saving as new, so I know I still have to do something with them. So I have like 8 emails I've got to deal with. Well, Mama Prayer has 13,000. Well, you haven't viewed them. I make sure I view or delete every email. No, once I read it, it's automatically marked as read. It just goes away. See, I mean, if I go into Gmail, it says I have 8 emails. I mean, all my other emails are still there, but they're not listed as new. It's also Kids Music Day. Strike some melodious notes with your kids while allowing them to soak themselves in music. It's Manufacturing Day. Read for tips to participate in celebrating America's most exceptional minds and machines. Those are all stupid days. Here's the first good day, National Badger Day. Show your love and appreciation for this iconic animal on this National Badger Day. National Body Language Day. National Body Language Day. Try to understand each other even better with body language. National Coaches Day. Let's not forget about the role of coaches play in shaping a young person's life. National Energy Geek Day. Greenhouses are more than just houses that are painted green. Just ask the energy geeks. National German American Day. German immigrants and their descendants have a massive impact on American culture and history. Of course they did. Just frankfurters and sauerkraut and hamburger. National Mad Hatter Day. National Orange Wine Day. Orange wine. Fuck. Revel in the deliciousness of the ancient yet underrated drink this National Orange Wine Day. National Plus Size Appreciation Day. When it comes to the beauty, one size doesn't fit all, if you say so. National, what? National Transfer Money to Your Daughter Day. Did Ciso Pray get into the National Days calendar? You read that right. A day devoted to daughters getting extra pocket money from their parents. And the only reason I can tell you that Ciso Pray did not get in on this day was because if it was, it would be Transfer Money to Your Sister Day. Ciso Pray knows Mama Pray doesn't have any money to transfer to her. She'd have a better shot of getting money from me. Not that I have a lot, but right. But Mama Pray would certainly given her anything she had anyway. That's why she has nothing. And let's see. It's also World Cerebral Palsy Day. Cerebral palsy is one of the most common physical disabilities affecting the most vulnerable among us. Children. Yeah, camera's off. Camera's off. Oh, we got a notification of a delivery?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the mail. And they took
And the
care of
mail.
that.
Okay. So those are the days. Let's see what's going on. LDG is saying 5 by 5. Kronos' captains are helmsmen. Gorilla says that must have been 50 years ago, whereas nowadays you can be effing in the street and nothing happens. Kronos says, I suppose they could be if needed to. Bird wears shorts. Shorts? No. Kronos says, bird is just turning into hummingbird. Oh, pray 5. Dan Ben is lolling. Kronos says, poor salty tracker. Richie Poole says he's back. Kronos says, hello, nurse. And welcome back to Poole. Stanley says, Kronos, can he move that fast? Dan Ben says, in a TNG episode, The Game, when you completed level, you get the pleasure feeling. Kronos says, hey to Stan. Dan Ben says, wow, that's really X-rated. Kronos says, that would seem so to Stan Lee. Stan Lee says, what happened to Salty? Kronos says, a genie named Bubba. Kitty Bear says, that made me laugh, thank you. The reverse genie of Rigel 7. You are welcome. Kronos says, Salty is a salt vampire, apparently. Dan Ben, he did a reverse starship and the starbase docking. Kronos says, so you can't smile on any other day. Apparently not. Stanley says, Kronos, he's not that ugly. Stanley says, yet at least. Kronos says, I'm uglier, way past fugly. I doubt that. Stanley says 10 p.m. is good drunk driving time. I bet he's great at driving drunk. Kronos says, hey to Mama Pray. She says, hey. Stanley says, did he crash? I don't think Avery crashed. Dan Ben says, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. Kronos says, I haven't checked my emails in months. Richie Poole says, Mama Pray tail for Kronos. Kronos says, Richie Poole, I only wish. Richie Poole, I could only wish. Oh, pray. Kronos says, where is Sis Oh Pray Day for Richie Poole? Dan Van says, hate those adverts on TV for kids bop. Where is a CD of your favorite pop songs? But the kids are singing them. Or Deej, asks Kronos. Kronos wants Sis Oh Pray Day for Richie and Deej. Dan Van says, I hate email providers that don't have a select all delete button. Kronos says, what is orange wine? What is orange wine? I'd never heard of orange wine before, Kronos. Richie Poole says, Bird of Prey 5, your audio is 100% A-OK, awesome today. Thank you, Richie. Yeah, for some reason, the computer was lowering my volume on the microphone to like 20%. I had to go in and manually put it back up to 100%. I guess I'm going to have to do that every time I stream. Kronos says, first I've heard of it. And Kronos says, who the F makes up these days? Dan Ben says, once I had an orange flavored chocolate bar made with orange oil and made me ill. Sorry to hear that. Kronos says, deadbeats. The Traveler is in the house. Welcome, Traveler. Traveler says, Bird of Prey 5, greetings, birds, salty turds, and nerds. Kronos says, Mama Prey likes steak and lobster. That is true. Kronos says, hey to the Traveler. Dan Ben is smiling at Kronos. And Richie Poole says, shut up, Wesley. Kronos says, when is National Karoger Haters Day? There is no such day. The Traveler says, Kronos, you're not going to say, shut up, Wesley. Shit up, Wesley. No, he's not going to say either of those. Kronos says, apparently not now. Richie Poole says, I beat you to it, Kronos. And the Traveler says, Richie Poole did it for you. Kronos says, Poole wins the intrawebs for an hour. and says, woohoo. Richie Poole says, Kronos, I'd rather win the lottery. And that's it. You do not have your Powerball ticket. Go out and get it. You need at least one ticket. It costs $2. You'll never have another chance in your life to turn $2 into $1.4 billion. Yes, I know the chance is damn near zero, but damn near zero is a whole lot better than zero. It's only $2. Give in your $2 and take a chance. Cronus says, all you need is $1 and a dream. Not anymore, Kronos. Not anymore. Now you need $2. Now you need $2 and a dream. Even the lottery has been affected by inflation. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It should be $1 and a dream. But even the fucking lottery, $2 fucking $2. $2 for a chance at winning $1 billion. But why? Why does it have to be $2? Why not just continue making it $1? So if it had been a 500 million instead of $1 billion today, would it really be a big fucking deal? No. They should have made the lottery should be $1 and only $1. $2 bullshit. What's next? 5 years from now, is it going to be $3? Because that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. A decade from now, a lottery ticket is going to be $5. $5 for one fucking lottery ticket. It's going to keep going up. We never should have accepted the $2 increase. It's only going to keep going up. It should always have been $1. Yeah, well, I did, but I'm just saying I'm not happy about it. Yeah, I paid my $2, but it's not that. It's bullshit. By law, the lottery should be $1. $1 and a dream should be all you ever need. Okay, you find $1 in coins on the street, and you should be able to play your lottery ticket. You have a chance. If you can find $1 in coins on the street, you have a chance of winning the lottery. Bruno says, annoy O'Prey. Says, sure, blame the computer. The Traveler says, Bird of Prey, you sound like you have more energy today. Hope you're feeling well. Traveler, I turned the sound up. That's why I sound like I have more energy. Apparently, my microphone setting had been way off. Bruno says, please mute yourself, Wesley. Captain Infinity has got a drink for us. Thank you, Captain Infinity. Chrono says, is it 5 a.m. there? And Chrono says, it's $2. Screw that. LDG says, Powerball is tomorrow. Powerball isn't it Sunday? I thought it's Sunday. Saturday? I don't know. Well, Sunday is when you find out if you won, I guess. Right, okay, so tomorrow night. So go ahead and get your Powerball. You'll find out if you won tomorrow night. Although, if it's me, I just assume not find out till I wake up in the morning. Because what happens? What happens if you found out you won at 11 o'clock at night? What the fuck are you going to do? Nothing. You can't do anything at 11 o'clock at night. All you're going to do is be scared that something's going to happen to the ticket. You can't, what are you going to, like, what can you do? You can't turn in the ticket. It's after hours. What are you going to do? Start making phone calls? Nobody can pick up anywhere. You can't call anybody. Yeah, you don't want to start making calls at 11 at night and tip off somebody that you have the winning lottery ticket in your house. All you're going to do is be scared as shit. You're not going to get any sleep. You probably wake up or you're going to, in the morning, you're going to be so tired, you're going to fuck everything up. You're going to call the wrong people. You're going to end up being arrested or attacked. Somebody's going to just steal the lottery ticket from you. You'd be lucky if you fucking don't get killed. It's basically a death sentence. If you find out you win the lottery at 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday night, that means Sunday, still every place is closed. You're not going to be able to find a lawyer. You're not going to be able to find a bank. You're going to be fucked. So you take the chance. It would ruin your life.
No.
It would ruin your life.
No. At this point, a winning lottery ticket would not ruin my life.
We got to not check it until Monday morning.
Okay. Okay.
Bruno says, I'll just dream.
Can I have a moment of interrupting
Of
you?
course, Mama Pray.
I just want.
You want to address the people?
Yes, I would. Hi, guys, girls, women, men, others. I like that. Men, women, and others. I want to thank everyone for their good thoughts and prayers that I mentioned the other day, that my brother was taken to the hospital. Just a little update. They kept him there 3 days and then sent him to a rehab where hopefully they will give him whatever rehabilitation they can and hope that he can be the best that he can be. Unfortunately, I don't know, his memory goes in and out. Last night, my nephew and his wife were there, and my brother understood that this was a long road, that he wasn't, be able to come home in the next few days or ever. He might need to stay in a facility, a long-term facility. But then again this morning, my phone rang. He's yelling he needs his keys. He needs his car. And I tried to explain to him, you don't need your keys. You're not going to be able to use them for a while. You need to stay where you are. It was not a good day. He called me back. He called his son 5 times. He called my nephew 8 times. And then he's just having a hard time. So I do hope that he gets through and is able to understand that he requires the help that they're giving him in the rehab center. And, but he's still with us, so there's always the chance that he will, whatever, we still don't know physically what's wrong with him. So anyway, thank you for the prayers. It could have been a lot worse. Had my nephew not found him, I don't think he would still be with us. So these things happen. Thank you. And I'd be very happy to win the lottery, Joe.
Yeah.
Yes. It wouldn't ruin my life. Trust me on that. Remember, you can keep buying tickets. All right, everyone have a good weekend. Yeah, it is Friday, so have a good weekend. I'm turning it back to you, son.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
LDG says they are $4, Bird. They're not $4. Maybe Florida has some $4 crazy ticket, but Powerball, Mega Millions, they're $2 tickets. The Travelers is Bird will pay $6. I was listening to Trump's speech when he was in California. I heard him say California and California. I'm guessing replacing the ah sound with an ER sound is a New York thing. Kronos says just keep voting the same way. The Traveler says vote blue no matter who until we're screwed. Well, we're already screwed. That didn't work out so well for California. Kronos is Vertebrae 5, take off your hat, boy. Kronos is the Traveler sounds like a good song from 1984. Kronos says if only I could cheat like Bird for winning the lottery. That would be great. And Kronos says you can do lots of things at 11 p.m. The Travelers is Vertebrae 5. Can you imagine if there was a bum with a sign that said, need money for lottery tickets, we'll pay you back when I win? Yeah, that would be, at least he'd be honest. Kronos says just use your imagination. And he says to the Traveler, that sounds legit. Dan Van says there's that film with the guy who has a lottery ticket. He thinks he's won. He spends money he didn't have and the winning ticket and can't pay the stuff for what he's got. I don't know what film that is, Dan Ben, but that's interesting. Kronos says, what day is today? And says, hey to Mama pray. The Travelers is Vertebrae 5. It's called Have a Safe and a Shotgun. That's true. If you have a safe and a shotgun, that might put your mind at ease. Words and pictures puts in a Mama pray and a heart emoji. Kronos says there are only males and females. What are these others? The Traveler says there are barely any women in the chat, and there are no others. Kronos says, some good news. No, not so much. Traveler puts in a Mama pray emoji. Kronos says, oh, possible dementia. Yeah. Kronos says, here's the hope. And a thanks to Mama pray. Kitty Bear says it's $25 for a ticket here. Okay. There are instant lottery tickets that cost $4, $5, $10, $20, $25. Sure. But I'm talking about the regular lottery game. The big game, they draw once or twice a week. Yvette says, good evening, Bird and everyone. Finished work finally. Did you get the big red button? Suggestions for the new emoji. Thank you, Yvette. It is one of the suggestions. Chronos says, Yvette, you finished your quantum stuff. And Yvette says, finished work, not the quantum stuff. Lol. The Traveler says, Bird, sorry for all the typos. Phone sucks. No worries, Traveler. Chronos says, 'tis good to misspell. I do it all the time. Misspelled. The Traveler says, I need to go buy a shotgun. And Chronos says, can you rub off tickets? You have to scratch them. You cannot rub them off. You have to scratch them. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's try some Wordle. The October 6th Wordle. Guys, put in a 5-letter word. Who's going to be first with a 5-letter word? And then we see how quickly. This is speed Wordle. This is how quickly can I solve it? And if I can't solve it, that's fine too. Kitty Bears is the skate lotto once a month, tax-free, winning, but $25 a ticket. I call it state robbery. And Gorilla puts in Titty. Thanks, Gorilla. Titty. Only an I. Okay. Let's try the I's in the wrong spot. B-L-I-N-K. We got the I in the right spot, but no other letters. C-H-I-S-H. We have H-I in the right spot. What other letter can be W? W-H-I W-H-I R-E? No. Whirl, W-H-I-R-L. Oh shit, no, L was already used. God damn it. Okay, it wasn't W. What else could be before H, if not P and not W? It's not Q, it's not E, it's not U, it's not I, it's not O, it's not A, it's not D, it's not F, G, J, Z, X, C, C, C-H-I, C-H-I, Chico, C-H-I-C-O. Shit, no. CHI. Chief. 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 Oh no, we didn't do it. Chime. God damn it. God damn it. If I didn't start with fucking titty. If I didn't start with titty, we probably would have got it. I did also F up. I did F up with world. But, oh well. Sometimes you do it. Sometimes you get it. Sometimes you don't. Chrono says boobs, butts. The Traveler's audio. No, it wasn't going to be 60 minutes. Boobs is not a word. LDG done in 4. I don't care how many you do it in. I want to know how long it took you to get it. Gorilla says you're welcome. Chrono says that's a lot of T's. Traveler says damn you guys and your titty, boobs, and butts. Fish. I forgot vulva, says Chronos. The Traveler's very stop typing body parts as the first word. Chronos says you can type white. Says, oh no, you can't. IT. Think, says Traveler. Think, bird, use your brain. Chronos says no Y, no T. Chronos is lolling. Chronos says no cheating today. The Traveler calls BS. And Gorilla is laughing. Chronos says, how the mighty have fallen. Whatever, I try to do it quick, not right. Okay, we're doing it quick, not right. Okay. Let's see what's anything interesting in the news. I don't even know if am I supposed to be upset that McCarthy got fired as Speaker of the House? I don't even know. What, Mama Pray? You're asking Sassy what she's eating? Did she answer you? Blood watch issued for the city. Yeah. New York City struggling to contain dramatic increase in tuberculosis cases. Yeah, well, because of all the people we've let in. Eye opener. Biden to extend U.S.-Mexico border wall. Biden stuns allies with border wall bombshell. Why is Biden building Trump's border wall? Well, I guess better late than never. Kelsey Grammer tears up, emotionally addressing the Frasier studio audience. Chicago O'Hare Airport shelter fills up as more migrants come to Chicago by plane. Stabbed in the back. Biden's border wall U-turn leaves indigenous and climate groups Let's see what's going on there. Um, unrelated, but I watched the 4th episode of Gen V. Still interesting, although they are seriously tuned up the anti-male message. It's getting harder to deal with it, but it's still watchable. Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer teaser posted online immediately blows up. MSNBC, as student loan payments restart, Biden can cancel all loan debt. I think he already tried, and they said no. AI was asked to create images of black African docs treating white kids. How did it go? I'm going to guess it didn't go well, or it wouldn't have made news. Researcher type sentences like black African doctors providing care for white suffering children into an artificial intelligence program designed to generate photo-like images. The goal was to flip the stereotype of the white savior aiding African children. Despite the specifications, the AI program always depicted the children as black. And in 22 of over 350 images, the doctors were white. So what? It means that in the other 320 images, the doctors were exactly who they expected them to be. So this is a big nothing. It's a fake. It's a fake. It's a fake. It's a fake article. 300. They did to make 350 images to find 20 images that were wrong. Well, guess what? If I did 300 images asking for a green rocket, I can get 20 images where I'm going to get a red dildo instead. That's the fucking way AI works. Stabbed in the back. Biden's border wall U-turn leaves indigenous and climate groups reeling. Rio Grande communities feel like they've sacrificed lamb in political war as climate activists, environmentalists fall foul. The Biden administration to waive environmental, public health, and cultural protections to speed up new border wall construction has enraged environmentalists, indigenous leaders, and community groups in the Rio Grande Valley. It was disheartening and unexpected, said Lincoln Jordan Hall, a Borderlands campaigner with the Center for Biological Diversity, amid concerns of the impact on essential corridors for wildcats and endangered plants in the area. This is a new low, a horrific step backwards for the borderlands. This is the first time a Democrat administration has issued such waivers for a border wall construction. And for Joe Biden, it's a marked departure from campaign promises and his efforts to be seen as a climate champion. Right, because the climate is going to be affected by a fucking fence on the border. I see the Biden administration playing strategic game for election. Many rural immigrant and indigenous communities that live in the region have become the sacrificial lamb for politicians looking to score points. As the climate crisis fuels ecological decline, extreme weather, and mass migration, the administration's move is especially unsettling, she said. Building the border wall is counterproductive. This is an inhumane response to immigration. The electoral director of Sunrise Movement, a youth-led climate justice group. What the fuck is a climate justice group? The right thing to do would be to treat immigrants with compassion and address the root cause of what is forcing people to leave their countries, which is the climate crisis. You stupid schmuck. The climate crisis is not forcing people to leave their country. Following the administration's decision to approve the Willow drilling project in Alaska and renege on the promise to end new drilling, the border wall construction will likely further alienate young voters, she said. Biden has already caused distrust among young voters. This is another and horrendous reversal of promises he made on the campaign trail, which is a dangerous move ahead of 2024. Yeah. Oh, well. Guess what? More is coming. More is coming. Okay. Gorilla says, get rid of them all. McCarthy is a sore loser, says Kronos. The Traveler says, I just want to know who will replace McCarthy. Another useful idiot, says Kronos. The Traveler says, Biden is building the wall because he is scared. Gorilla says, because Democrats wanted them, so we want them. We sent them to them. Kronos says, those are all leftoid sites. Find news from independent sources. Kronos says, what is Gen V? Oh, the show. Yeah, the show. Kitty Bear says, Biden is building a wall for the opposite reason Trump had. Biden wants to keep people in the country. Kronos says, it's a stunt. Don't buy into it. And Kronos says, wait, Biden's actually building the wall himself. The Traveler says, the AI knows the doctors are white and the kids are black. Martin DeBond says, not any AI that I have used. Lol. Kronos says, may I steal Mama Frey's steak while she is busy with the lobster? Martin says, I need a red dildo. Now, Kronos says, it's good to want things. Isn't that racist toward dildos? The Traveler says, I thought Borderlands was a video game. Martin says, any color will do. Kronos says, my PC can't deal with games. What rag is this article from? F the climate, says Kronos. Last on the case is Dementia Joe longs for a bowl of pudding. Let the competent president and a decent human being, or let alone a competent president, or a decent human being, or a climate champion. Drill, baby, drill, says Kronos. Schwario says, are there dear bops? There are a couple of dear bops. Gorilla says, Trump for speaker. Yes, we're going to the dear bops now. We're going to dear bops now. Except the future of Star Trek could be in danger, showrunner warned. Uh-oh. Oh no. Not all new Trek will last forever. Thank fucking God. Somewhat famously, Star Trek original series, saved by fans, more than once. A letter writing campaign in 1967 and 68 ensured Star Trek got a third season. Meanwhile, in the early 70s, an explosion of Star Trek fan-run conventions helped pave the way for 1973's The Animated Series, and eventually the first feature film in 1979. Without the fans, there would be no Star Trek. The mainstream science fiction show, we know it, wouldn't exist. But it's not the 60s anymore, and fan campaigns to save shows don't work quite how they used to, because of the speed of the TV industry is very different than it was in 1967. Today, if a Star Trek show gets canceled, an after-the-fact fan campaign might not be enough to save it. If people want more Lower Decks, they've got to tune in and get a couple other people to tune in. No, that's your job. That's your job, Mike McMahon. Star Trek Lower Deck showrunner Mike McMahon tells Inverse, referencing the instability of modern streaming. So instead of a letter writing campaign, let's all watch Lower Decks right away, please. I'm working on season 5 right now, but by the time people realize Lower Decks has been canceled, it will be too late. We do these seasons a year in advance, so the only trick here is early and consistent viewership. That will help make more Lower Decks. That's your job, Mike. It's not our job to find more viewers. McMahon's warning comes after an interesting time. Between the nostalgia-filled Picard Season 3 and the epic and eclectic Strange New World Season 2, and now Lower Decks Season 4, it's clear 2023 has been one of the best years for Star Trek in a very long time. Not to me. Not to me. If you're a fan, even a casual one, it's been a very good year to tune in. Buck McMahon says it's crucial that fans of specific shows continue to spread the word. While it's been a banner year for Final Frontier, many shows are ending. Yes, it's the best, coolest year of Star Trek we've had in a long time, but the best, coolest Star Trek age we've had in a long time, says McMahon. But we're reaching this kind of natural moment where things are ending. I don't know how many more seasons they'll give me of Lower Decks. I mean, look at Prodigy. Look at Picard. Look at Discovery. We need to get some new movies going. While Lower Decks has been praised to the gills, the reality remains that the streaming business is contracting. And in order for great shows to keep going, fans need to get new fans to watch. The mainstream attention of a feature film would certainly help the Trek brand overall, which was the case in 1996 when First Contact hit theaters at the same time Voyager and Deep Space Nine were on the air. During this otherwise great year for Trek, Prodigy was pulled from Paramount Plus for cost-saving reasons. Although viewership figures aren't known, the decision was likely based on the fact the show was drawing fewer viewers than expected. Prodigy could very well return on a different streamer, but the reality McMahon is alluding to is clear. All streaming TV is fragile. For shows to survive, especially genre shows with relatively niche appeal, they need to be a hit. They need to be a hit big. So if you like Lower Decks, you want it to survive beyond season 5, tell a friend. Better yet, tell 1,000 friends. Mike McMahon, the problem with Lower Decks is that the only people who could possibly enjoy it are mega Trek fans. Okay? Mega Trek fans. And there's just not a lot of us out there. And not all of us really love Lower Decks. Even if every one of us love Lower Decks, there's probably not enough people to watch it. But considering the way you're doing it, you're only going to get half of us to like it anyway. So you're already dealing with a half of a half. I can't make my cousins who've never seen Star Trek like Lower Decks. There's nothing there for them to like. The only people who can like Lower Decks are people who have seen every previous episode of Star Trek. And that's why your first episode of the season, the Voyager episode, was a good episode. But none of the others have been great episodes. You had one great episode this season. Not my job to make your show good. You should have done that yourself. Kronos is Bird of Prey. Do you have a Moopsie? No Moopsie. No Moopsie. Okay. Famous Bera. There you are, Famous Bera. Here I am. This was for you. This was for you, Famous Bearer. I got the video out. The first hour of the stream, I'm on video. You can rewind. You can see me on video. I'm here. I remembered what you asked, so I'm here. But we are very much towards the end of the stream today, and we're going to do our Dear Bops now. And probably will not be back on camera at this point. Famous Bearer says, hello, bird people. Hello, Famous Bearer. Dan Ben says, most people who say they've watched all Star Trek haven't seen the animated series. That is true. Okay, Dear Bop. Dear Bop, what grinds your gears? What grinds my gears? A lot of things grinds my gears. Let's see. What grinds my gears? I tell you, as someone who's trying to watch their sodium intake, I get really annoyed when food doesn't have, they don't tell you how much sodium's in something. And then I try to look it up and I get 3 different answers from 3 different places. It's very annoying. I'm not one for forcing companies to do things, but we do force companies to tell people how much salt is in things. I just wish it was easier to see it and didn't have to go searching for it, that it was always there, especially for restaurants too, for fast food or whatever. But I don't know. A lot of things grind my gears. The costs, the ever increasing costs of streaming, the ridiculous increasing the costs of fast food in general. the fact that the government doesn't seem to understand how or why prices continue to go up. They think they can just keep increasing the minimum wage to give people more money, and somehow they can solve the debt problems. That's going to cause more inflation. You can't outpace inflation by increasing the minimum wage. That will never work. Antiderivative Jill is in the house. Says hello, Kapla, Antiderivative Jill. Antiderivative Jill was streaming today on the Coneheads movie. I haven't seen the Coneheads in years and years and years and years, but I do remember it being a fun movie. I'm going to have to watch it. Someday soon. Daniel says, I watched a lot of Star Trek in my life. Actually, maybe a little bit too much. But I have never in my 36 years, 7 months of existence, have I ever seen the animated series. Well, you should have watched it, Daniel. It's worth watching at least once. Hakeem says, cheat fast food is no longer cheap or fast. That is true. Miss Lundell says, no one should be surprised at the ridiculous price increases in streaming. It's what happens when you let idiots run a business. Andrew Jill says, I hope all of new track ends. Indeed. Chronos says, his bird still ranting, and I missed Jill's show. I miss lots of shows, says Chronos. And Jill says, it's okay, I'll have more shows. You can always watch it later. Chronos says, are you guys from France? Dear Bob, ask Mama Pray what advice would she give herself if she could speak to herself on her 21st birthday. Unfortunately, Mama Prays on a phone call, but maybe, did you hear it? If you could speak to yourself on your 21st birthday, Mama Pray, what would you tell yourself? She would tell herself two things.
One, stop smoking.
She would tell herself to stop smoking.
Invest all the money I would have spent on cigarettes in whatever the biggest.
Invest all the money she would have spent on cigarettes.
Whatever the biggest.
Like Yahoo and Microsoft.
All the
biggest, Google.
They didn't have them then.
No, but okay, when you were that age.
And I'm sorry to say this, son.
Uh-oh. I'm going to say.
Don't ever get married, but raise your children the same way. I'm joking. The last one was
she's
just
cheating. You say don't have kids.
No, I didn't say have.
Yeah, you did.
No, I said don't get married.
She said don't get married,
but raise your children the same.
Raise children the same.
I'm joking. I am joking.
Yeah.
I would have just been more financially astute. Yeah, Aunt Debbie's saying the same thing.
Kronos' smoking was tough to stop.
They got two answers, one from your aunt and one from your mother. And the answers are the same. Finances.
Kronos says, welcome back, Mom will pray. Kronos says, are you a moopsie? No, I'm not a moopsie. Cronus says smoking was tough to stop. Dan says the next date is Friday the 13th. Stanley says, at least I don't worry about that. Would have just spent it on something else instead. Cronus says, don't get married, but have kids. So anti-married with children. Yeah. Android of Jill says, I actually like references to the past when they're used well, but Lower Decks relies heavily on member berries. I checked out in season 2 when they crawled all over the bones of a giant Spock from the Infinite Vulcan. Yeah, I remember that. And they didn't say a word about it. Miss Lundell's Groovy Movies says, what the hell is a moopsie? It's an animal from this recent season of Star Trek Lower Decks. It's a cute little animal that becomes a vicious killing machine. Dear Bob, what do you do when you aren't streaming? When I'm not streaming, I'm generally working on computer stuff, playing a game, doing bills and stuff I have to do to keep the house and everything going. And of course, my own physical needs. To be honest, a good part of my day is dealing with bodily functions and getting washed, things of that nature. Not the type of stuff you wanna hear about, I'm sure. Dear Bob, I don't understand why my wife thinks I'm a jackass. It started when her mother moved in and was always up my ass about something. Well, she started reading The Exorcist, and she said it was the most evil book she ever read. She literally went down to the river and threw it in. Well, on my way home from work, I stopped and bought a new copy, and I ran it under the faucet and then put it on her nightstand. Ha ha ha. I would say that's why. That's probably why, but well done. Well done. Dear Bob, I had a question. What do you think of prenups? I am thinking about settling down, but I want an ironclad prenup. I already will be taking a hit with this marriage, being that her credit score is only 450. So to protect my assets, I want a prenup, but it will cause a rift in the relationship. I don't know if I should loosen the prenup or get rid of it and hope for the best. That's a tough question. It's a tough decision, obviously. Going to come down to, I guess, if she's going to demand no prenup and you are going to demand a prenup, you're going to have to be, are you able to call the bluff? Is it a bluff? Would you rather not be married? Would you rather have a prenup? I guess the question is, would you rather be married with no prenup, or would you rather have no marriage? That's what you got to decide. If you'd rather have no marriage, then go ahead and demand the prenup. But if you'd rather be married with a prenup than not married at all, then I think you've already answered the question. You could suggest a prenup, but if she's going to force it and you're going to back down, why even bother? You might as well not even try. Rather than, because if you do it and you back down, then she's always going to look at you as someone who backed down. You're never going to be able to come back from that. I don't know what you want to do. I'm not in a position, I've never been in a position where I would have had any reason for a prenup. My family was never of money. I was never from a rich family. There was never going to be any kind of family wealth involved. So, in a way, I kind of not something I ever had to worry about. I could understand why somebody would want to do a prenup, but it wouldn't have been me. If anything, the woman might have wanted me to sign a prenup. And to be honest, I probably would have, because I didn't care. I wasn't going into a marriage for money. If I had gone into a marriage, it would have been just for love. If they wanted to keep their money, I would have understood that. Unless they cheated on me. Stanley says, my buddy had a clause that she has to fit into her wedding dress every year to keep the prenup official. So that means that she has a prenup against him. Obviously, if she doesn't fit into the wedding dress, she doesn't get out of the prenup. That doesn't make any sense. There would be a prenup where he has to deal with it. Crown says, you need prenups with snuggle buddies. No, you don't need a prenup with a snuggle buddy. Just a wife. Stanley says, Kronos, I let her get slightly adjusted every 5 years. Stanley says, but they use my tailor and it gets locked in a safety deposit box. Stanley says, if the dress doesn't fit, you must divorce. Kronos says, wow, I wish I could afford a safety deposit box. And Stanley says, if the dress doesn't fit, you must split. Last on the case says, prenups suck, with many women being ticking time bombs to becoming or are close closet Karen, fourth wave feminists, and 50% divorce rate. A prenup isn't a bad idea. Rose Bird of Prey, life is like a box of cheaters. You're always going to know what you're going to get. And Kronos says, I don't like florists. Understood, Kronos. Understood. Oh. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out. Flaw all, bird out. So, Spock, what's on the agenda for today? Captain, as you are well aware, I am your first officer, not your secretary. It's going to be one of those days again, eh? Those days. Yes, Spock, it's an Earth expression. Captain, we're being held on screen. Oh my God, man, what a hideous-looking alien. Sir, the frequency is open. Yes, sadly it's true. Salty knows I am an ugly alien. What can we do for you? I want to invite you and your salty crew to a party here on M114. I like the sound of that. Maybe this day won't be so bad. Send the coordinates and we'll set course, if I may. Damn it, Spock. This is why we don't get invited to the good parties. Captain, this creature is clearly a salt vampire, similar to the one we killed on M113. What? My wife was on M113. Calm down, please. My science officer was mistaken. Well, why would he say that? Because he's an idiot. Do you know anyone on M109? No? Well, there you see. We were at M109. Mr. Spock confused it with M113. Well, he's not invited to my party. But you, Captain, and the rest of your crew, please beam down as soon as you arrive. What can we bring? Maybe if your kitchen can spare a few extra salt packets. How many do you need? How many do you got? I'll order 24 salt packets. Order 24, are you sure, Captain? Absolutely. Order 24 now. Aye, sir. Oh, God, the pain. Spock, what did you do? I thought you ordered an order 24, sir. This is what I mean by one of those days. Dun 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 dun. Captain's log, stardate unknown. It's been 3 months since my return from the Mirror universe. Like the Mirror universe, where I was forced to dispense pain with antagonizers and agony booths, the Mirror universe is the same but opposite. I am forced to dispense pleasure with orgasmatizers and the ever-popular ecstasy booth. Upon my return, I provided Chief Engineer Scott and Dr. McCoy with detailed blueprints, recreating this fantastic technology, yet neither has been able to reproduce it at all. Therefore, effective noon tomorrow, I will self-destruct the Enterprise, unless they meet my demands. What was that, Captain? Do your job, Mr. Chekhov. Dun 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 dun. Chief Medical Officer.